सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु. May there be happiness for all. How come am I doing the happiness? So when we have an unripe ego, the same challenge is you. How can I give happiness to anyone? No, 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 it's not that. You see, this is the process of contemplation. So, knowledge says happiness is our essential nature. But then why I am saying it? I want to recognize. I recognize Vaibhav is a Vaibhav, Stephen is a Stephen, Dennis is a Dennis, Christina. No. Happiness is the essence. Appearance is Christina, Dennis. I have done it. That, and then what happens? Then your contemplation already stops. You are already there. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. Same thing, same contemplation. So I check whether I also live into the same state of peace or not. Okay, that is the key. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Purnam. May there be completeness for all. So, completeness, I discover the same completeness, same wholeness in me and in everyone. So, what happens? My unripe ego that has some reservations against people, event, and situation and relationship dissolve. And when it dissolves, what happens to me? You can just imagine or realize. Sarvesham, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarvesham, Mangalam Bhavatu. May there be auspiciousness for all. And now you open your eyes. We all are traveler and we miss the train. Are you awake to the life's greatest opportunity? Pay attention to it. Don't get offended today. But anyhow, I'm going to talk about the principle which the master talks about. So you have nothing to be offended. Imagine life as a busy train station. I could just view, yes. Trains come and go. Life. You have a rare ticket to the self discovery. Most people run for every other train but miss this one. That is why I am busy. That is why I react. That is why I miss the practice every day. Master is saying the human birth is rare. We have obtained a privileged ticket and we are wasting it. How I am wasting? I am busy. I have to settle a score. One guy was telling me, I remember my honey, insulted me 10 years ago. 10 years ago. And you're still remembering. Are you crazy? So I missed the train. Human birth is the rare. You have obtained a privileged ticket. Don't waste it. Intellect is your compass. Intellect. We are using the intellect. Discernment and dispassion are your guiding tools. Eastern wisdom is the map. It shows you the route that leads to the lasting peace. Commitment to self discovery is essential. Lukewarm effort means missing the train. No lukewarm effort is required. It will not work. How long you have been attending this session? So the lukewarm effort is also deeper inside. There's something that is not clicking. That is not clicking. I have to sit down, contemplate every day where I don't miss any day. No, but I have lot of things to do. You can do the practice mentally. You are meeting a person, it is an opportunity, it is a practice. You are talking to your mom, it is a practice. You are talking to your honey, it is a practice. Are you getting it? The moment you wake up, that is your invitation. Why? Because we want to recognize and realize that peace and happiness in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at all the time, in all the situations, in all the conditions, in all the relationships. So every event is an opportunity for me. I'm putting very softly the one master what he says, and then I will come to how he says. You wake up. You are not busy. You are not fully busy in sleep in the dream. The moment you wake up, the thoughts storm in your mind. That makes you busy. So you miss the train. You don't apply the power of discernment. And you are missing it. Let me give a reference to it. Have you heard the harakiri? The word harakiri? It is a form of suicide by cutting one's own belly. Originally reserved for samurai to restore honor and avoid capture. That is harakiri. You experience the stress, it is your harakiri. You are blaming, complaining someone, it is harakiri. I'm comparing it to give you the sense of what the master is going to say. A very sad face, remorse. God is also looking at you. He says, remain sad. You are already crazy. I have given you the human birth. Christina, both the Christian. So now coming to the verse. I'm translating the verse as it is. This master says, having obtained a rare human birth. We already discussed that. Possessing an intellect that can do the discernment and dispassion. Can your dog do the discernment and dispassion? Answer is no. So the second gift. Having obtained a rare human birth, first gift. Possessing an intellect that can do the discernment and dispassion. Are you in anxiety? Can't you do the discernment and dispassion? Tell me. You are crossing a road, so you watch the traffic and then that is discernment. Anytime, anywhere. And third, he says, having a thorough knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. Now we have spent a couple of years. If a person does not strive for self-discovery, Master says, I'm not saying, don't get offended. The Master says he is a foolish indeed. Totally foolish. You don't have a calm and smile on your face. You are totally foolish. No, I'm not saying. Master is saying. Clinging to the unreal. Foolishness means clinging to the unreal. He verily commits spiritual suicide. This is what the master says. I'm just, translating that. And that is why I brought the hierarchy. Whatever the situation is, do you have the human birth? Yes. Do you have the human intellect? Yes. Can you do the discernment and dispassion in any situation? You cannot say no. I am aware, I have an intellect, I look at the situation, I can do the discernment and dispassion. And third, I have a knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. Then what? I am very busy. I have a stress. I have an anxiety. My honey blamed. They are getting married in January, Jerry. So, so, so very good. So think of it. Master is what the master is saying. That is why I am using the word. Are we doing harakiri? Running in the world for happiness. That is harakiri. I am running in the world for harakiri. I don't have a time to attend this session. I cannot say those who are beginners. But those who have been attending this session, I must say that. Think. I am simply saying think. Contemplate. Are you awake for a while? Think I am your teacher asking you, are you awake? I know you will say yes, big yes, but I am listening to you. I am listening to you. Thank you, I am grateful you are listening to. Are you listening to the knowledge of Eastern wisdom that I am passing to you? Yes or no? Contemplation. If yes, do you recognize you are a human being? Of course I am. Do you have intellect? Yes, I know I have. I'm answering your questions. So then are you grateful being a human? No. Why? Because I have a lot of problems in my life. Why don't you apply discernment in this way? If no, do you have intellect? Yes, I know I have it. Then are you grateful being a human? Yes, that is why I fight with the people. I don't apply discernment. That's why I blame. That's what I claim. That's why I react to the near and dear ones. Who knows if stranger... If I am grateful to be a human being, then am I using my intellect to grow, to evolve and aims at self-discovery? And I am no. I know the principles of Eastern wisdom. I'm taking this verse in a positive way. No, I'm busy, I'm fully busy, have too many responsibilities. Where? Where you have responsibilities in the world. Can you ever become free from the world and the works of the world? Can you ever be free? Tell me. On a single day. It is not possible. The world means work. So it means the big no. So I am missing an opportunity to find my real self and I am busy. I am engaged in the different events and relationships only seeking happiness from the world outside. That is harakiri. That is our harakiri. Think. Think. So, Master, in order to help us remember, they discovered that there are 6 treasures in the mind, You have to invoke them, you have to work on them. Sama, Dhamma, Uparama, and we are doing Titiksha. It is a spiritual harakiri. Can you think of it? In one of I took this verse from another text. Great Master Shankaracharya says, harakiri is a spiritual suicide. Rare human birth. To be born human is a rare privilege. And we have a common sense intellect. We can think. Gift of intellect is there. Gives the capacity to discern the real from the unreal. I can discern what is changing and what is unchanging. Why you are busy? You are busy in the changing world. So, but I have a treasure of wisdom also. I have understood how many times I have repeated that peace is your essential nature, happiness is within you. How many times did you count it? So I know it. Just pick up only one thing, and still I am not doing. Master is saying foolish neglect. Despite these gifts, one who turns outward to pleasures, unripe ego, possessions, commits spiritual suicide. We are a self-killer. Means, we, because of my unripe ego, because of my pleasure-seeking mind, I cover the permanent peace and happiness that is already present within me. I'm hiding it. I'm hiding it and I'm reacting and I'm fighting. Unnecessarily. So now come to the main thing. So if harakiri is not, then are you sincerely transforming life daily? Means what? Are you doing the Mangalacharan daily? Did you contemplate on the lesson last week and you remind yourself 6 days, the same lesson you remind? First day it will take maybe half an hour or 1 hour. Second day, because your memory is sharp, you memorize it and you recall and remind yourself what I have done. Second day, third day, it hardly takes 5 to 10 minutes to remember and do the practice. It took me many years to reach to that state. So do you follow these steps of listening, learning, contemplation, reflection, checking daily your life? Do you apply the wisdom in your daily life? The moment I have anxiety, I remember my intellect, I remember discernment and dispassion. I remember the principle of sama, internal calm is all. That is my treasure. External calm. That is the treasure I have. Oparama, the continuous nature of the calmness is my nature. I was calm in the morning. Why I'm disturbed in the afternoon? Why I'm disturbed in the afternoon? Do I really contemplate and reflect? Do I really use the intellect or harakiri sama? We have understood the sama, understanding the active peace, it is active internal calmness. You build sima through the fourfold practices, discernment and dispassion. You apply daily. We did it. And etymology, we understood that it is an active peace. Then we understood the Dhamma, it is the mastery over the senses external. I look at you, my mind hates you or attached to you. Now that through the mind, sense organ, I create those thoughts and impression. My external calm is gone. Can I tell you something very interesting? Senses along with the mind disturbs your external calmness only to the near and dear ones. You don't have a luxury to go out and start abusing the neighbor. The cop will come and take you to the prison. But what I say, I have a right to react to my near and dear ones. Uh-huh. Are you getting it? I'm telling you the fact. This is the naked truth in our life. Can you go to the mall and start reacting to people and start crying? Just do it. Perfect example of unripe ego. So, Dhamma, I gave it. Uparati, resting the mind in a higher truth. I just remember my real self is of the nature of peace and happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. That is enough. In that field of awareness, I am avoiding the hara kiri. Then comes to the titiksha. Titiksha, we discovered resilience. We discussed the resilience. You know, my master used to say, bamboo bends in the storm but never breaks. That is titiksha. It sways with the wind and rises again once the storm passes. Your near and dear one said you something that you are crazy and you are hurt. No, you bend it. I also said sometime. So where is the problem? I also said I was unconscious and habitual and impulsive. So let me apply resilience. Let me apply the titiksha. What I said, a bamboo bends in the storm but never breaks. It sways with the wind and rises again once the storm passes. That is the resilience in action. Titiksha is a bamboo strength within us, flexible, enduring, and quietly unshakable. That is, resilience is the power to recover from the setbacks without losing balance. We will miss many a times. We will become fully busy, will be reactive, but let us withdraw immediately. Titiksha deepens resilience by adding inner calm and acceptance. Challenges reveal hidden strength. Challenges reveal the hidden strength when faced with understanding. But go back. Did I do the harakiri today? Yesterday? Day before yesterday? How many times I was in anxiety, reaction, duality, and a conflict? I have to apply these principles. If I don't apply these principles, then you will say one day it is not working. Another word of titiksha is equanimity. Equanimity. Calm in the storm, clarity in chaos. Chaos means I'm fully busy. So you have a clarity. And calmness in storm. Storm maybe because of any event, maybe because of relation, situation. So we all have to face the life difficulties and unpredictability with resilience, patience, and balance. But it can only happen if you practice samadhama and uparama. Samadhama and uparama can only happen if you practice discernment and dispassion. Discernment and dispassion can only happen if you have the knowledge of the Eastern wisdom. That is what the satsang is. But satsang can only happen if you use the intellect, you already have it. But if you don't use it, then harakiri. What are the symptoms not using it? The entire world is crazy. Only I am good. The fact is that you are the only one crazy, the world is as it is. Just tell me if it is not true. So Titiksha develops the stability and centeredness to sail through turmoil. Equanimity, how to achieve that? You respond to situations mindfully, not reactively. See the impermanence of different situations. Find the lesson in the challenges. So when you find the lesson in the challenges, you are discovering the cause and effect. Breaking down in adversity takes a further toil. Further takes a toll. If you break down in adversity, it takes a further toll. No, in adversity, I have to work. I have to find the way. Maintaining equanimity averts draining mental anguish. Equanimity, that is why I'm comparing Titiksha with equanimity. Averts draining mental anguish and gathers inner strength. When and where? Practice non-reactivity and level-headedness amid daily ups and downs. Accept the seasons of life. Accept the seasons. Now it's going to be winter. Accept it. Summer, accept it. Rough patches, accept it. Honey said you something, accept it. That is why I used to say that don't say anything if honey is saying you a balanced, a calm state of the mind. That is important. Equanimity, calm in the storm. And I said clarity in chaos. Picture an ocean on the surface, waves rise and fall with the winds of circumstances, but deep below the ocean remains silent and still. That is Samadhama and Uparama. Equanimity is living from that quiet depth, unmoved by the surface storms of life. You miss anyone, Samadhama, Uparama, discernment and dispassion, all five consists of satsang. You don't do the contemplation and reflection, you don't do the practice, you miss everything. The entire scenario is like that. Equanimity is the inner balance amid changing life situations. It teaches responding, not reacting to pleasure and pain alike. With Titiksha, it transforms endurance into a graceful acceptance. Why graceful acceptance? If someone reacted to why graceful acceptance? Think the opposite. Now I will give him the befitting reply. You are already losing your patience. You don't have Samadhama and Uparama. That is why you are making this statement. You are not searching for stability and clarity and strength in all conditions. You have become weakling. Equanimity is not detachment, the last point, from life, but mastery within it. I know many Americans told me, oh no, we remain indifferent as if aloofness. No, very active. Titiksha is very active state of mind. Equanimity is not detachment. That is why I'm using the word equanimity for Titiksha. Detachment from the life, no, but mastery within it. It doesn't suppress emotion, it refines it. It refines it. You find out the response. Oh, that guy seems to be angry over me. My fault is not my fault. Maybe the guy seems to be very weak. I need not to be weak. Let me maintain my calmness. Are you getting it? When you meet joy and sorrow with the same poise, you reclaim your energy from endless reactivity. The wise face both praise and blame with a calm eyes because they see the rhythm of life as impermanent. When someone says you are crazy, that is not permanent. After 1 hour you'll forget it. You have other things to do. Equanimity turns struggle into self-understanding and chaos into clarity. Don't forget hierarchy. So at least you remember how many times in different events and situations you commit harakiri with reference to the Eastern wisdom. Yes, Dennis, you want to go ahead with the let us discuss. Sure.
Um, I think this mind and this intellect of a human being has the power to analyze itself, to contemplate, to discern, to set goals other than plain survival, which animals do, and achieve these goals. And if we don't use this power of our intellect, then this precious human birth is a waste. And who knows when we get another chance to be born as a human. And if we believe Darwin theory of evolution, then this body and the mind originated from animal kingdoms, so it has a lot of animal features that are useful for survival, but may not be helpful at all when it comes to things like self-discovery and self-realization. So if I want to make good use of my human birth, first of all, I must find a goal high enough to fully utilize the power of this intellect. And I think this goal is to realize who I really am and stop all the suffering. And then I have to check all my thoughts, speech, and actions. Do they help me achieve this goal, or they have nothing to do with the goal? And if they don't help me or have nothing to do with my goal, then they are senseless. They are just a waste of time. So this continuous awareness of whether my speech, thoughts, and actions match my goal is, I think, is what makes us really a human being that uses its human birth to a full extent.
Beautiful. Thought, speech, and action should match my goal, and my goal is self discovery. The personal, professional, social, family life continues. You see, it is outside, it continues as it is. But internally, my goal is self discovery. Expression is the thought, speech, and action, and then the life. Then, then after all, what should I do? Follow these simple principles in your life, and you will see the difference. This is what the master is saying. Can animal follow these principles? No. So that is why we have a precious human birth. Yes, David and Jerry.
There are lots of great little nuggets there. A few things. One, the comment that delusion covers up the real self. When you understand that, and then you actually see your real self or your essence at certain points, it sort of reverses that whole thing. And then you work for, I got to get rid of delusion. So I envisioned, being a greeter at Walmart where somebody comes in and says, "Where's the TV section? TVs are over there. Where's the T-shirts are over there." So we need to sort of separate these thoughts that come to us and say, "No, go away. Yes, you can come in. Go away. Come in." That type of thing. So that was very relevant. The also the analogy relative to the bamboo being strong and just swaying in the storm really resonated with me. So thank you.
Yes, you see that, you just see the entire scenario of our life. You have a problem, you approach someone. Does he hug you to solve your problem, or he uses the intellect to offer you the solution? Tell me, ask your Christina Ragu. You go to her. It is a talk therapy, basically psychotherapy. This is what I'm also doing. Even at a surface, even at a deeper level, you go to a medical doctor, he prescribes medicine, you'll be all right. It is a change of perception. No, Roti, you don't have any problem. Go ahead, take these pills, come back after 2 weeks. That level comes from the intellect. Intellect shines. That is known as the specialization in the modern world. But here we use the intellect to a level where we get rid of these challenges, and then we can go for self-discovery. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, sir. I love the whole lesson. I guess the main takeaways for me is when we really, our goal is to know our nature, our true nature, then we'll see that we want to be of service in the world, not what can the world do for me, or the workplace, or the job, or so we're not using and disposing of anything really. We're actually seeing how we can best serve all the time.
Beautifully said. We will cover this. This is going to be our next topic. Then, if we have to discover ourselves, that what should be at my attitude towards work at home, work in personal life, professional life, social life. So we will go to the motivation, because if the motivation is unripe ego behind it, it will always cause the problem. So the masters have suggested the path of karma yoga and emotional integration. So that is what Jerry is talking about it. We are going to cover that after 6 treasures. Yes, Samir, you want to say?
Sir, today Kavita told me that I don't get angry naturally, and you don't get angry because you are doing so much meditation. That is why you are not getting angry.
Kavita is his wife.
Yes. So she told me that you are not getting angry because you are doing so much meditation, and I am not getting angry naturally. I am not getting angry. So I told her that you are not getting angry because of fear, and I am not getting angry because of knowledge. So knowledge, contemplation, reflection, all these things start minimizing all these enemies in your mind, and your treasures start popping up in your mind, and they take over all these enemies, and you are in peace and happiness. So that's why I told her that you are not getting angry because of fear that things may not get worse. I am not getting angry because of knowledge, because now I don't think that getting angry is of any use.
That's quite interesting. But what she told you then? So when you told her that you are not getting angry because of the fear, what she told you?
Sir, she is not doing all these things. She is not learning Eastern wisdom. So she told, no, it is not like that. This is my nature. So that was
That's a very important point to understand. Very important point. So we don't get agitated. Can you get angry over the boss? No. Why no? Because of the fear. Because of the fear. But anger is inside. So people try to suppress it and they sometimes they sublimate it. But that's a good point to understand and reflect on this. Yes, Christina Rago. Oh, we'll go to the Ask Stephen years later. Yeah. Yes.
So many things today really apply. There's someone who's very upset with me, and it's a work situation, and I've tried to reach out to them, and they said they're not ready yet. They'll let me know. And so it's the perfect opportunity to put all of these principles into practice because I feel very upset. And I heard today that there's hidden strengths in this challenge. And for me to, it's all about my real self and coming back to that place. And not attaching to what could come or not come of this.
One is angry or upset because of the past event or past thing, something happened. So analyze what happened, reflect on it, and see how you expressed your thought, speech, and action, and how the other felt the other way. If your intention was right, and if your intention is wrong, then correct it, finished. So whenever you are ready, my dear friend, I am always ready to talk. Otherwise, I'm grateful to you. I'm extremely sorry that it hurt you. Doesn't make any, even if you say this and write it, nothing, you don't get, you don't feel anything less by being grateful to be with you. I did this thing. If you have committed something that you feel is not good, you can just recognize that and write or tell him or her. Things gets better. But there are exceptions is possible. Exceptional people are extremely crazy, full of tamasic guna. You do it 3 times or 4 times, but after that you stop it. Don't waste your time. Enough is enough. But check, are you in a peace and calm? That also needs to be understood. Yes, Stephen, we have.
Thank you, sir. Today's lesson made me think of this whole journey going back 5.5 years ago from where we started. And it became very clear how systematic it is. And starting with the fact that our true essence, our essential nature is truth, love, peace, wisdom. That the goal is to, and that's within us. That's our real self. And it's to, we need the self-discovery to bring that out. And in order for that, we start at listening and learning, contemplation, reflection, discernment, dispassion, the practice. And then with that is where we now have the six treasures. And it's that beginning that brings us to the samadhamma and uprama. And then it became very clear, and Brandy said something in our last meeting that made me start thinking about it, that Titiksha is like the protection. And in today, talking about Titiksha as being the equanimity and the bamboo that bends, it became very clear to me that the Titiksha is the maintenance and the restorative that gets us back to our samadhamma and uprama. And that's where it was this full circle. And if I have struggles with samadhamma and uprama, I got to go back to the beginning.
Beautiful.
And get the practice. And it's just this systemic piece. And it's very helpful. So thank you.
Beautifully said. It's a restorative, because if I am not able to endure or maintain the equanimity or face those challenges, as Christina Ragu was saying, then it means I have to go back to Samadama and Uprama. And I have to go back to the discernment and dispassion. And then I have go back to the same entire journey I have explained. Beautifully said. That is a very good point. Another Christina, what you have to say?
Thank you, Girish. I love hearing everyone's contemplations of the lesson because I'm just like, oh, yes. But for me, I realized that just within the last week or 5 days, two of my near and dear ones have told me out loud, like, it was so easy living in ignorance. And I was like, yeah, that's where I'm at too. Because once you obtain the knowledge, unless you want to be ignorant, maybe I should use a different word, unless you want to be, with your blinders on and not living to the goal of self-discovery, life could be easier, but that's the whole point. And I love that Dennis, the thought spoke about the thought, speak, and action should be, and I was thinking, as a teacher, you have a standard, and then you have objectives to get to that standard. And the standard is the goal of self-discovery, and those objectives are the thought, speech, and action. So, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah. One thing I want to ask you, Christina, do you keep smiling the way you keep smiling in a session all the time?
I try to. So I catch myself when I have a resting, not happy face, and then I'm
very
like,
good. Very good. Smile. Very good. You can do it faster than all of us. Why? Because of you are young. You don't have so many accumulated thoughts in your mind. So please do the practice and see that change can happen. And change is possible. Last one is Vaibhav before we go for meditation. Yes.
Thank you, sir. So today's lesson is like that as a human birth, we got a gift. So I can separate from my default nature and stay calm even if there are a lot of challenges coming from outside.
Yes.
And if I'm not doing that, then before I'm reacting to the world, I'm harming myself first, and then I'll react to the world. So it is self-sabotaging myself if I'm not reacting calmly and peacefully.
Beautifully, self-sabotage due to the default mind. Default mind is due to the ignorance. And a famous American proverb, ignorance is bliss. In Eastern wisdom, we say ignorance is suffering. It's an American proverb, I think. Yes, I have read it, yeah. So, ignorance is bliss, but we say ignorance is suffering, Christina. Close your eyes, we will talk later. Close your eyes. And just you are in a state of place, position, and posture. We have contemplated, it has raised our level of awareness. So you simply notice place, position, and posture. You notice your mind is looking inside. You notice the thought, feeling, emotion, sensations, they are passing by. Just, you may feel the temperature on the skin. You may have some images with eyes closed. You may hear some sound besides mine. That is what you notice in self-awareness. So in self-awareness, whether I use the word notice or I use the word observe, you are vigilant, as if you are sitting like a guard on a gated community and you are simply watching. You're not disturbing any one of them. They are coming and they are going. They're the same way the thoughts are coming and going. Thoughts are coming and going. Feeling thought, feeling emotions. When you notice and observe, you notice, you are an observer. You are a knower or you are a seer. We use different words. Whether you say seer, observer, knower, no. So you are not what you know. You know a thought. You are not a thought. You are the one who knows, you knower. You are the one who observes, is an observer. Further investigation reveals that knower and the observer does not change. What changes is thought, feeling, emotion, past memories, events, incidents. They are changing, but only one knower is there. Just check it. Knower is always one. You have only two eyes to perceive lot of things, lot of people, lot of stores in the mall. Only you see the where, if the senses are the knower, it is only one. Ears are the knower, different sounds. But we are talking deeper within. At a mind is passing these thought, feeling, emotions, sensations, past, and intellect is the knower. Intellect is the knower, you can say, or the observer, or you can say the seer, not the seen. Knower, not the known. Observer, not the observed. I am upset is a thought. And I am not a thought. So when the intellect is very clear about it, you have already done discernment and dispassion. Is it so? Yes. Discernment and dispassion you have already applied it. But if any thought comes, maybe about a person or that person is crazy and your mind starts the chain reaction, you start blaming and complaining. You are not an observer, you become thought. You become the feeling, you become the reaction, you become the anger, you become the anxiety. So what I said, further investigation reveals we go behind the mind to the level of intellect where lives the I. That I is the knower in the intellect, that I is the observer in the intellect, that I is the seer. But when I say I know you and I am an observer and you are observed, means there is always a space between it. Always a space, because two are different. Thought is different from me, I am not the thought. Even the thought of being, someone says that you are crazy, so that is also a thought. So the word crazy is also a word. Oh, not me. Can I see through the intellect? I am the seer. I am the observer. I am the knower, and this is only a thought. It demands an extraordinary awareness. Nothing less, nothing more. And that extraordinary awareness comes by what we are doing. So now when you see the space, can I say, that you have the thought, feeling, emotions are passing by, and you are a knower or the observer, and in between you find the space. The moment you find the space, just drop Om Shanti. That is the third level, the higher level. Why is said third level? We have been doing Om Shanti on the breath going in and out. We have been doing Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. But in this is, we are not dependent on the segments of fingers. We are not dependent on the breath. You see? We see the reality. What the reality is, the space is already there. Oh, the space is already there. There you are dropping Om Shanti. And I'm just making you aware. First level, second level, third level. This level is the higher level. That in the space you see, you are aware of the space and then you remember Om Shanti. You see space, you discover, you remember Om Peace, Om Shanti. That keeps your mind deep within. It doesn't allow the mind to return to the default mind, foolish mind. And that is why we have done the poise method of practice. Poise method you have done couple of times. And the last word is embody, E, last letter, embody. We embody simply the consciousness. We embody the consciousness as if we transcend the intellect. That leads to transcending intellect leads to self-absorption. So it is not that self-absorption comes only by the one regular practice that we have been doing. It can come in any way. In any way. If you internalize the mind. And it can remain. You can remain self-absorbed even when you are working in the world, you are doing your personal, professional, social, family activities. No issue at all. That would be a higher state of meditation we can achieve. I'm trying to make it very logical and rational explanation, even though I know that you miss all the time something that is subjective reality. So you are simply, you see the thought passing by, discernment and dispassion is there with reference to those thought, feeling and emotion. You see the space, you are attached to that thought of Om Shanti, you drop it. Why? I'm saying attached because it will take your mind deeper. Really? Yes. Try this. So anytime, anywhere, in any event, I'm saying you're talking to someone in a profession and you, Om Shanti, mentally, it can continue. You can even talk. What you're talking outside, it can continue. we did the poise method of mindfulness, presence. You know how different it is, when someone says, especially in US, and also almost everywhere, those who have not studied Eastern wisdom clearly, they say focus on the breath. We are not focusing on the breath. If you show the mind that from where you are originated, the mind loves it. And that love is self-absorption. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You are also singing mentally. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes. Stay there for a while. Just wait and check the state of the mind. And then bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. The meditation was, the mind was very separated. It was clearly an observer. It sat outside of everything and was just listening to your words, observing the empty space, and then noticing the body. The body was very cold during the meditation, but the mind just stayed in that space. So, thank you.
Beautifully. That word separation I wanted to hear. So once I see, yeah, we'll talk later. Yes, Samir.
Sir, I was quickly into meditation and I was looking at my thoughts and feeling totally different from my body. Beautiful. And it was totally knowledgeable, understanding session, and I was listening carefully of what he was saying.
Beautiful. You see that, these two guys share their experience. If you contemplate and reflect, in today's session, we had a deep contemplation and reflection that clears the mind, and then meditation becomes an easy process. Think that way. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. The focused on the thoughts, focused on the essence, the true self, and then really settled in on the space in between and just stayed there, and it was just wonderful. Thank you.
Beautiful. Yes. We are already staying all the time because of the ignorance. We claim we are the default mind. That much journey is left. You drop completely. It is declared that you are not me and I am the real self. Finished. Jerry.
Thank you, sir. I also noticed sitting in that observing mind and just watching the whole process. It felt very, very calm, very relaxed. I appreciated what you said about ignorance is bliss. That's used a lot. And then how Christina said that, ignorance is, living in ignorance is easier. And actually, it's not easier. It's just easier for the default mind because it's so habitual and it loves to be obsessed with stuff, the default mind. But the moment we notice that, but it creates the suffering. So once we start to work on ourselves, it is more, it's a challenge, it's practice, it takes commitment, but it's so worth it.
Beautifully said. You see,
Yeah.
Jerry, what Christina, did you get it? Ignorance, it is easy to live in ignorance. Now, discernment, that is the discernment, contemplation and reflection with the default mind. What the default mind? Default mind is impulsive. Result, drug addiction, binge eating, and go long list. Long list. Don't disturb me. Nobody is disturbing you. You are disturbing yourself. Default mind. Yes, Christina Arago.
Thank you. I have a question. I've been noticing tiredness arise during meditation for a bit now, and I'm just wondering about your thoughts about that.
It is Tamsic Guna, we talk about it. Some of the thoughts, they did not resurface in your mind, but they were struggle. So your mind was struggling to release that, of which you are not aware, so that gives you a feeling of laziness or sleepiness. It's okay. It's a part of the journey. Need not to worry. You practice it again and it will go. Yes, Dennis.
I was just watching the thoughts passing by in the meditation, like they were someone else's thoughts, and I am not clinging to any particular thought, but more focused on the space between the thoughts, and it was very peaceful. Thank you.
Beautifully said. And just it is other thoughts. What a great way to say it and to recognize it and to live into it. It is others' thought, not mine. You don't own it, you don't possess it. We all possess these thoughts, and then we create our unripe ego and then impulsive nature, and all these problems enters in our life. Yes, Vaibhav.
Thank you, sir. So mine was calm. It's like that checking before the meditation starts and how I'm attached to a thought, and when the meditation ends, then my attachment towards that thought it almost goes away, and the thought is just a normal thing, and then it passes by.
Beautifully said. We are not struggling with the thought. We are not suppressing. We are not eliminating it. We are recognizing, because of the wisdom, that they are not me. They are separate from me. They come and go. Let them come and go. Don't disturb them. They won't disturb you. Christina.
Thank you. I just was enjoying being in that state, and what really spoke to me was when the first time, you just mentioned the word Om Shanti, and all of a sudden my heart just felt like this overwarm, cozy, it filled my heart space, and I just repeated. I was listening to you, but I also was just repeating Om Shanti the whole practice, and I feel very calm and at peace. So thank you.
Beautifully, yeah. Yes, so we have to recognize this peace and the calm. No, the space again and again and again and again. You separate yourself intellectually in the beginning through contemplation, reflection, and then through the higher awareness. The intellect contains that higher awareness. Yes, Teddy, you want to share?
I was thinking about the lesson and why the reactive mind is so powerful. And at least in I still have trouble.
Because we love it.
Oh.
Because we love it.
Oh.
But one thing.
But it's almost like an addiction.
It is an addiction, yes.
Things that were bad for us, we love them.
After reaction, we repent. Every time we repent. And we love it. We love it. So there you have to contemplate and reflect again and again. Reflect again. In this situation, my mind reacted. Don't say I reacted. You say this default mind reacted. But why it reacted? Because it had a motivation. What was that motivation? Expectations to be met, attachment has to be carried out. Let me take you just for a minute to a different level. Can the waking state recognize the sleep state? No. In sleep, there is no waking. If you say I know the sleep state, it means you are already awake. Clear? First point. How do you know that you had slept soundly? Who knows it? My intellect. My intellect knows. You can give 10 reasons from the science, but it means the intellect was there, some form of awareness is there, which returned in the waking state that says that I had a sound sleep. Otherwise, waking state does not know the sleep state. Sleep state does not know the dream state. Dream state does not know the waking state. We are very clear about it. That is the way we have to find the real self. That is the way. It is not indirect, it is a direct way to recognize that I am the real self. The way we recognize in a waking state, without waking state, entering into a sleep state, that I had a sound sleep. Sorry. Contemplate and reflect on this. Reflect on this. That is all for today. Thank you. We'll meet again.
Thank you, sir.
So-
Namaste.